everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are liking, that you're sharing, that you're subscribing, that you're going on this journey with me, because we were never meant to do life alone. And I am so happy to be going on it with you as well. We do know that when we get in the Soup Bowl, life gets messy. And when it gets messy, we can clean it out. We just don't want to leave it there. We don't want to put it under the rug, as they say, but we want to deal with it. And so we want to deal with some things on today. We want to deal with when barriers come up, right? What's stopping us, right, from getting to the results? What is stopping us from getting to our goals? Because barriers are going to come into play. Obstacles don't mean quit. They don't mean quit, right? You got to get with the I will not stop attitude. I'm not going to quit. I will not stop until I get to where I'm going. I remember I used to be a heavy wheeled vehicle driver, which is literally like a 18-wheel vehicle operator. Like I was driving trucks, like these big trucks that are 15 times bigger than what I am, right? And I'm getting up into these trucks. And I'm on the road, and I just had it in my mind, whatever they said, that we were going, I was not stopping. I needed to get to where we were going. I was pass me the water, pass me the chips, pass me whatever. I need to get to my destination. To the point where I literally got 3 times running in a row, the highest miler award, because I just wouldn't stop driving. They were are you good? You good? Yes, I'm good. Let's go. Let's get there. So I want you to have that attitude. I will not quit. No matter what happens, I'm not going to allow anything to stop me from getting where I need to go. Pressure reveals what needs to be strengthened. Pressure reveals our character. And at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We are building our character. If it's hard, okay, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. If it's hard, that doesn't mean that you quit. If it's hard, that doesn't mean that you stop. It's basically giving you information. Oh, I need to either change direction or I need to get through this barrier. The good thing about it is that barriers can be moved. They're there to, it's like a facade. It's almost like it's a smoke screen. And not the type of smoke screen when you get on the pole. I'm just saying, it's not that type of smoke screen. But it's hey, I'm trying to prevent you from getting to your destination. You're on the road and a tree limb had fell down or something. Can you get out and get it yourself? Or maybe you need to call for help and someone else to help you to move it. But that doesn't mean oh no, I gotta go. Or you're going somewhere and the road is closed. And you normally when the road is closed, what's happening? There's a sign that says what? Yeah, that's right. There's a sign that says detour. That means I just got to go another way. And so that's what we're talking about today. I want to give you 5 practical tips today on how you can, move those barriers. And in doing that, you need to accurately define, what your particular barrier is. When you got the clear vision of what your barrier is, and then you can go into practicalization of removing those barriers. Right? Do you have a skill gap that you need to get to because you're trying to get this promotion? Is there a confidence gap and maybe you need to do some exercise and some public speaking, right, to build up your confidence? Is it a discipline gap, right, that you need to get accountability to? Is there a resource constraint that you're dealing with, or is it avoidance? You need to understand what your barrier is, right? And clarity is going to help reduce, right, the anxiety behind all that. How do I get through this? Right? Because if it's vague, right, then it's going to seem bigger than actually what it really is. Like I said, a tree limb fell. Okay, so you can't get out your car and move it, or you can't go around it, if there's no oncoming traffic. But do we see that it's multiple trees that have fallen when it's really just one tree limb? It's not a tree, but it's a tree limb. So here's the first step into these practical strategies that I'm going to give you. Number 1, defining that barrier, right? Understanding what it is, right? Why is it that you can't finish this project, right? Why is it that you can't finish the assignment, right? Write it down. Is it lack of study skills? Is it lack of time management? Like I'm always telling my daughter all day long, girl, you need to deal with your time management skills, right? Because procrastination is not a job. It's not, right? So you can't solve what you can't define. You can't solve it. And number 2, reduce it to the next step, right? If your barriers are feeling overwhelming because you're staring at them and you feel like, oh, it's a mountain, but it's really a molehill. We talked about that tree that just falls over, but it's really just a tree limb, right? Progress is built on deliberate steps each and every time. So if I take it like small steps, right, then I can see progress taking place. But if I try to, charge this mountain at one time, then more than likely, I'm probably going to die out. There's a book out there, and it's about a lady. She, I wish I really knew the name of the book right now, but it talks about when she climbed Mount Everest, right? And how she had to do it twice. Now, here it is. She has a team of people, and she actually got called in, right, from sponsors like Ford, and they wanted to sponsor her and this team, and they wanted her to lead this team in going to Mount Everest, right? And that they were going to be the first women's group to climb Mount Everest, right? So it took them months. They were training for months and months and months and months and months. And so they had to train a certain way, right? Because every time they went up, there was elevations, right? And they had, specialists there to help them along the way. And they got to a certain point, to the point where they had to turn back, right? They didn't have a choice. So she gets back, right? And people's like, oh, you didn't make it? Oh, that's too bad. Like you even got there, first of all, right? But it was just, she said it was just so disheartening, and to the point that she did not want to try it again. And then she sat down at the dinner table, and someone was just like, you have to go back. You have to go back, because there was something that you had said that changed my life, and other people are waiting for you to get to your mountain top. And so she literally went back the next year. It took her 2 years, but she did go back, and she was able to get to climb that mountain. And so I don't know the name of the book, but I do encourage you to go research it, go find it or whatever, because it's very inspirational. I'm a hiker, so it's you're talking about getting to your mountaintop. What is your mountaintop? And it took progress for them to get there. It didn't happen overnight. They didn't just wake up and was able to climb that type of elevation. So when you're saying, oh, okay, I need to climb this mountain, I need to get in shape, well, what are you going to do? You're going to start practicing. Okay, I'm going to go 1 mile. I'm going to go 2 miles. I'm going to go 3 miles. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6:30 a.m. I'm going to set my alarm. I'm going to start walking for 20 minutes. You got to make it practical, right? Momentum dissolves, right? Resistance. So that resistance is going to go away once you get your momentum going. Right? Small execution builds your confidence. Number 3, you need to separate your emotions from instructions. When barriers show up, emotions get real loud. I don't feel ready. I'm tired. This is hard. My brain is hurting. Right? You're feeling all of these things. But before you quit, you want to ask yourself, is this actually impossible? Is this actually impossible? No, it's not. You know why it's not? Because somebody else did it. Other people climbed Mount Everest. Other people started businesses. Other people started their singing careers in their 50s. Other people, ran for presidency. Other people ran for city councilmen. Other people have done this. This is not the first rodeo. Everything that we're doing in history right now has happened before. Everything that is happening right now has happened before in history. Looking at our communities, looking at our government, it has happened before. This is not the first time. But you were created for this time, and you're experiencing it this time around. So feelings it's just data. It's just data. Let's do a data analysis on this, right? It's not the direction, right? But it should cause you to do an analysis on it, right? Is this something that's temporary? Yes, it is. Discomfort is not the stop sign. It's often the confirmation that, oh, growth is occurring and I need to keep going. So when resistance says, I feel not like going, then you say, I need to keep moving. Number 4, audit your environment. Barriers are often reinforced by our surroundings. Distracting environments give us low focus. Negative voices give us low confidence. No structure gives us low consistency. And I've been told, because this happened at me, I'm laughing to myself right now, right? Because I've been told loud typing causes resistance. I laugh at myself sometimes. I'm telling you, laughter is good for the soul. I'm just saying. So you may need, right, that type of motivation each and every day. You may need those to change up those conditions, right, to make things better, right, for your growth. Does my environment support my goals? If it's not supporting your goals, then you need to change up some things. Or is it sabotaging my growth? Is there people around me that's sabotaging what I'm trying to do? Is people sabotaging, the things that I've shared with them. And then they're going to go share with other people. One time I had this business plan, right? Because I was going to open up a bakery. I still love bakeries. I love French pastries. I really do. And actually, I know how to make them. And so you're going to have to dig in a little bit more because I'm not going to tell you this piece, though. So contact me. We can talk about it. But so I love bakeries. And so I really wanted to open up like a cafe, right? Like in a type of European type style. And so I had this business plan. And I was like, man, this is right, so great or whatever. And I took it down to the Small Business Association. They were like, this is great. Boom, boom, boom. You can go apply for your small business loan or whatever. And then boom, we get orders and it's time to move. And I was like, but God, I have this business plan. What do you want? I have this business plan, right? So I'm thinking like, okay, well, since it's all G to G or whatever and it's good to go, then I'm probably going to go to this other place, and this is where this cafe is going to be at, right? This is in my mind. I'm making this, this whole plan. So I get on ground to this other new location, right? I'm talking to a good friend about it. I share it with them. I present it to them and like, oh man, this is great. This is great information. Hey, I want you to meet somebody because, they do cakes and they're thinking about starting a storefront or whatever. So I just want you to talk to them or whatever. And maybe you can help them because they don't know where to go. And I was like, cool, I would definitely talk to them. I like helping people out when I have information. So this individual gave my business plan to the person. Yes, I'm turning my head. How dare they? How dare they? How dare they? And I'm going to use some strong language right now because I like to be honest with you guys about how I was feeling in that moment. I was pissed. I was like, what the? You're supposed to be my friend. Why would you give them my business plan? Because in my mind, I was building a cafe. Yes. And so I said, okay, why would you do that? And so I had to go talk to the person. And they were like, oh, well, I thought, that's what you wanted me to do. I said, I never told you to share anything with anybody. So why would you do that? So at that moment, I felt like, okay, there's this barrier here. There's a barrier in this relationship. There's a barrier now into I'm supposed to be building this thing. Like they were already looking at property and building things. I said, you know what? They can have it. They can have that business plan. They can have it. Because if they're supposed to build it, then God, you gave me the insight, right, on how to structure it. And so I took it as a lesson of lots of things. One, don't share everything with everybody. And then two, sometimes you were meant to build the blueprint and somebody else was meant to actually build it. And so this individual has a booming cake business, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them because I was able to offer something, right, that they got stuck in. And so I learned some lessons from that. I didn't stay there, but I also didn't build the bakery. But then in those moments, I realized, Renee, you're a builder, and you build blueprints. And so it wasn't about you actually building the structure, but you actually build blueprints. And I believe the Lord was saying that this is how it's going to be. You are going to be building blueprints for people, and they're going to be able to build it and run with it. So barriers persist when we keep repeating, right, ineffective things. So I'm not going to keep sharing stuff with people that, that don't know how to actually hold water, so to speak. But yeah, I released that. I forgave the person. Remember we talked about forgiving quickly? And so that's what I did. So when you're able to do that, right, when you're able to get these structures in place, it reduces the friction. And number 5, we need to be able to measure the return on investment. I do a lot of strategic planning. I do project, planning and project management and program management. And you need to be able to see your return on investment, right? Time, energy, focus, right? These are all investments. If what you're doing isn't producing any type of return, then you need to adjust your strategy. If it's not producing anything, you need to adjust your strategy. Like, what's happening here? Why am I not getting a return on this? Why is results not kicking in? Adjust. Stagnation often signals misalignment, not incapabilities. So you might just be misaligned with some things, right? Even with your vision, you might be misaligned. You might be misaligned with people. And the people that are called to you will come. The people that you're supposed to be in, your tribe that you're supposed to be in, will come when you make the right necessary adjustments. So every level requires a different version, right, of what needs to take place. This person that you're becoming, this person that needs to, fulfill the assignment that's on their life. Because it will run you down. You will not rest until you're in your assignments. So more discipline, more emotional regulation, more strategic planning, more patience is what's needed. So I want you to know that you were built for this. The barriers that you are incurring are there to help build your endurance. Don't look at it as, well, I guess I'm not supposed to do it. No, it's giving you information. Just the example I just gave you about my situation. It says you are supposed to be doing what it is that can keep you, what you're trying to get to if that barrier occurs. Whether it be your parents, whether it be your grandparents, whether it be your friends, whether it be your job, not so much your friends, right? It's the place, right? It's the place. And let them be who they're going to be. And you be who you are supposed to be and growing into. So if you stop every time it gets hard, you are never going to get to where you need to be at. And that really means that you're not committed. So purpose doesn't bow to inconvenience. Purpose does not bow to inconvenience. Well, we are out of time. It's time to wrap this thing up here today. I want you to know that leading is teachable. I want you to know that we are here for you at www.4mosaic.com. We're here to work it out with you to get your ROI that you're looking for. So until next time, I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. Peace.